You're watching Big South Women's Basketball on ESPN3. A chance to crown a regular season champion today in Buies Creek, North Carolina, as the Campbell Fighting Camels look to finish off the Big South run against the Presbyterian Blue Hose. Final 3 games of the conference slate. As you take a look at the Big South standings, Campbell with a win today will clinch the regular season title. Presbyterian needs 2 more wins to avoid playing in the first round and earn a bye to kickstart the Big South tournament. Thank you for joining us here in the broadcast booth alongside Juan Watkins. I'm Evan Budrovich. Campbell has won 3 straight, but they're without their best scorer. Haley Barber is out tonight. For Presbyterian, they started 0-5 in the league, but have now won 3 of 6. So, Coach, if you're Campbell, how do you wrap up the league title today?
Well, I think for Campbell, it's relatively simple, but easier said than done. Staying focused and stick to your normal game plan, trying to build upon the momentum that they've established thus far, and maybe just upping the ante a bit without the presence of Barber out on the floor.
If Presbyterian's going to hold the upset today, they need sophomore guard Trinity Johnson to continue her high-scoring mark.
She's a vocal leader for her team, and she is 5th in the league in scoring, chipping in 15 points a game. One of the most well-rounded players in the conference.
For Campbell, senior guard Kiana Spate leads the Fighting Camels in 3-pointers made. How could she kickstart the offense today?
Well, she gets it done night in and night out. We've seen that throughout the season. She's shooting 35% from three-point territory. And in the first meeting of these two teams, she hit 8 of 12 three-pointers for 24 points.
For Presbyterian, second-year head coach Alora Sharp, a 3-game win improvement from her first year at Presbyterian. Now off to a 6-12 start in league play, looking for an upset win tonight here in Buies Creek. And for Campbell, the man who was the former head coach at Presbyterian, Ronnie Fisher, now in his 4th year, a 3rd season of 20 or more victories for Campbell. His program has the most wins of any team in the Big South so far in 2020. So getting you set for tip, our officials in today's affair. There's Brandon Marion getting us all rolling, Michael Temnick and Kelly Moyer, part of our crew, getting you set for the second matchup of PC and Campbell. It was a competitive 7-point game down in Clinton, South Carolina. The last time these teams met, title implications on the line in this one. And away we go with the opening tip. Moana Serrano knocks it off the leg of Presbyterian of Jade Compton. There's the Presbyterian starting 5. Trinity Johnson, the top scorer for PC at 15 points a night. But keep an eye on Tiana Carter, number 22. She's coming off a 24-point game. Impressive on Tuesday against High Point. For Campbell, their starting 5 features Shai Tooley, the leading scorer on the season for Campbell. Haley Barber is out with a knee injury today, so looking to rely upon Tooley. And down low in the post of Taya Bolden. How can Campbell find that scoring production without Barber in the lineup today?
Well, they're going to have to be patient, look to get those perimeter shots like the one they just took. They're going to have to work hard to penetrate the gaps of Presbyterian against that zone.
Campbell attempted 32 threes on Tuesday in a 1-point win over Charleston Southern. While Presbyterian, their offense was cooking, 71 points in a tough loss against High Point on Tuesday. Here's Johnson working into the post, and a quick look for Tiana Carter, spinning against Bolden, and off on her first attempt. These are 2 of the top 4 defensive scoring teams in the Big South. Defense, the name of the game, especially when you consider Campbell's defense is ranked 4th in the country this year.
2 very good defensive teams, 2 entirely different defensive-looking teams, however.
And that forces a turnover as Svenja Nuremberg gives away Campbell's first mistake of this one. Something to note in this matchup, Campbell the fewest turnovers in the Big South, but Presbyterian, they're top 3 in steals. How's that matchup going to unfold today?
Well, we'll have to see how it goes. We've got 2 very good defensive teams, as I alluded to. One that prides themselves on man-to-man defense, the other on a lot of zone defenses.
Here's Trinity Johnson banging bodies with Serrano and a miss. Still searching for our first points, a minute and a half in a game that came down to the wire, 53-46 in the first meeting back in mid-January. Here's Taya Bolden attracting a double team and throwing it out of play. That zone defense causing Campbell some trouble here in these first 2 minutes.
Campbell looking to get the ball inside, get the post touch, and then feed outside on the exterior for the 3-point shot. Bolden just a little bit anxious on that one.
How about Taya Bolden? 4 straight double-doubles. That's never happened in the last 10 years in Campbell basketball history.
He's really playing good basketball for Campbell.
Tiana Carter goes right to work in the post. Carter, the freshman, 28 points in her last game. She was dominant.
Wasted no time, picking up right where she left off.
Also had 15 rebounds and a double-double in that loss against High Point on Tuesday. Here's Bolden attracting more pressure.
There's a double down by Presby.
And a steal. This is Compton coming away with the basketball.
Certainly, I know Coach Fisher expected the double down on the post by Presby in this game.
Johnson one-on-one with Serrano, and she's cooking in this first quarter.
She's got that spin move down pat, going hard to the basket, spinning and going to her left.
Trinity Johnson, the 4th leading scorer in the Big South this year at 15 a night. How can Campbell answer without its best scorer in Haley Barber out with a knee injury today?
Campbell's going to need to work hard to penetrate and drive gaps. There we say Serrano doing that very thing and then pitching out on the perimeter.
Here's Spate hitting her first triple on senior day.
Big key for Campbell.
The graduate transfer, top 5 in the Big South and 3-pointers made at 55. Gets Campbell on the board here in this first quarter. This is Compton slashing in. A tough off-balance shot is no good, and a foul on Compton. Trying to fight was Nuremberg for the rebound. There's our first foul of the afternoon.
Compton being really eager there, following her shot. She's not only the team's leading rebounder, but their leading offensive rebounder as well. Just a little over-anxious that time, trying to get to the boards.
Here's the sophomore guard, Shivani Stafford, who Alora Sharp told us coming in is her most impactful bench player. What does Stafford have to do in this game?
Well, I think Stafford, you know, she's coming into her own now, and she's going to need to give her team the lift as she comes in off the bench, and she's been known to do that of late.
There's an offensive foul on Bolden with the pick. Ronnie Fisher, he knows how difficult this stretch will be. No Haley Barber for the regular season, and his team inked out a 1-point win, 43-42. He had to rely upon that defense. That might be the same here today.
Probably so. You know, I think when you go as far back as Radford, Campbell has really been tested. They've seen the best out of everybody they've played, and they've been able to hold on and get the victories.
Carter rattles it home, and the freshman Tiana Carter 4 early points. To your point, Wanda, in the first 10 games of conference, Campbell had 1 matchup decided by 10 or less. In the second half of conference play, every game has gone down underneath 10 points.
They've all gone to the wire.
Nuremberg working the baseline. 4 minutes into this first quarter, and Serrano hits her first triple.
Great patience by Campbell that time, looking to get the good shot, making the extra pass. Serrano has really stepped it up, and she's going to need to step it up with Al Barber out on the floor.
Now Stafford coming off the bench with that knee injury. You see the brace, has been a huge impact player in the second half of league play. Now Casey Hall, the senior, looks to light it up. And Hampton with the rebound. Back and forth we go. Nearly 5 minutes in here on senior day in Bowie's Creek. Campbell with a win will clinch the Big South regular season title. Presbyterian with a win can still climb out of that 9 seed at the moment and look to earn a first-round bye.
Both teams with a lot to play for out on the court today.
That look to Hampton goes out of her reach, and a turnover, the 3rd mistake for Campbell here in this first half.
Good thought by Spate that time. She definitely had her on the pass that time, diving to the basket, but Presby got their hand on it, I believe.
Keep in mind, Ronnie Fisher was the architect of Presbyterian over the last 8 years. Helped PC reach a Big South semifinal 3 years ago. And here he is now watching a club that he recruited players like Casey Hall, number 11 in the blue. Here's a freshman, Carter, working through the lane, and Carter missing a gimme that time.
Carter really wormed her way to the basket that time.
Tooley cuts into the lane. The sophomore up with the right, and Campbell's first lead of the night.
Good drive off the pick by Hampton to get to the basket by Tooley that time. Campbell's really looking to penetrate that zone.
Shai Tooley, a breakout 13 points in the win on Tuesday night at Charleston Southern. That broke a streak where Tooley was shooting 20% in the previous 5 games. Here's Casey Hall, the senior. Looking to set up Stafford. She goes right away from three, and PC back in front.
Stafford can shoot it, and she did that time.
Shivani Stafford, she had 8 points in the last matchup, coming off the bench with her first triple. Now some contact on Tiana Carter, drawing our first media timeout of this opening quarter. Early on, back and forth in Bowie's Creek. It started with our player to watch, Trinity Johnson, go to work, and Campbell heating up from three here to close out the first quarter. 9-8, PC up in front here on ESPN3.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading protection to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Music make you lose control.
Rock a showstopper, beats get it crunk and wired. Wave your hands, scream loud. Everybody here get it out of control.
Geico makes it easy to get help when I need it. With licensed agents available 24/7, it's not just easy. It's having Jerome Bettis on your flag football team easy. Go get him, Bus!
Oh. Come on, Bus. Come on. Hey, wait. I'm glad I got the flag. I got your flag. I'm glad I got your flag.
It's Geico Easy, with licensed agents available 24/7.
49-0.
Never mind. We're going to talk about the Campbell team facts instead.
Okay.
Welcome back to Gore Arena here in Bowie's Creek. We mentioned Campbell playing for a Big South regular season title here today. Well, what's been cooking for Ronnie Fisher's club here in 2020? First and foremost, a program record for Big South wins. A scoring defense has been fantastic. And how about the 50-point games that Ronnie Fisher's club has been able to orchestrate defensively?
That's been so positive for Coach Fisher and such a determining factor for their success this year. His teams are always defensive driven, this year being no exception, as they once again are getting it done night in and night out.
This is the 5th straight year that a Campbell team has been top 25 in defense. Only 5 programs in the country, teams like Baylor, Robert Morris, are in that discussion. A little bit different tonight without Haley Barber, arguably Campbell's best defender. But what stood out about this defensive effort here in the first 6 minutes?
Well, you know, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, we've got 2 entirely different looks. We've got a team that prides themselves on throwing zone defenses at you, and then we've got a team that continually and consistently prides themselves on aggressive man-to-man defense. And we've seen some good of both.
So far in this first frame, PC led by the bench. Shivani Stafford with a 3, and also Tiana Carter, 4 points for the freshman, who, keep in mind, only scored 5 when these teams last met. Not a huge factor for Laura Sharp's club, but a secondary scorer now becoming a lead option for Presbyterian today. In comes Tatiana Carver, number 5 in the orange, off the bench for Campbell, as Ronnie Fisher goes deep into his bench. Here's Brittany Staves catching in traffic, and a quick basket off the bench.
Campbell showing the depth that they have out on the court with the freshman putting that shot up inside.
When these teams first met, only 3 bench points for Campbell. Something to watch today is Johnson right to work. 6 early points for Trinity.
She's impressive.
Why so?
Well, she's so young as a sophomore, you know, and I know I was talking with Coach Sharp before the game about the promise of her team with these young players and the productivity that she's getting out of them late in the season now.
Trinity Johnson, 25 games in double figures this year. What an impressive sophomore campaign. A Spate catch and shoot triple is short, and an air ball affected by this Presbyterian defense.
Presby wasting no time getting the ball up the floor.
Alessia Capley checks in, number 35 in the blue, working the point up top. and trying to find some help. Johnson one-on-one with Carver. Back over to Stockton, setting up Capley. Her triple is off, and a foul offensively. And I believe that's on Campbell, boxing out for the rebound.
We'll have to take a look at that.
Oh, they called that on Spate. 0 in the orange.
Just a little wraparound that time by Spade, it appeared. Good block out, but wrapping around. Got her. There's a double staggered by Presbyterian to get the ball in bounds.
Stockton on a tough catch. The shot clock did reset to 20, so plenty of time here for Johnson as PC on the road up by 1 in this first quarter. Serrano strips her loose, and Lou with her first steal of the night. That's one way to create some defense, taken out of the hands of the top scorer on this floor.
Serrano has a good way of doing that. She's got very quick hands. Oftentimes creates steals that she doesn't even get credit for.
Hampton doubled in the block, and Staves has to go near midcourt to save it. Shot clock ticking down to 7. Who's going to create something here for Campbell? It's Serrano's turn, off her leg and out of bounds. Great defense by Georgia Stockton in this PC defense.
The double down giving Campbell a little bit of trouble. I know Coach Fisher expected that as he discussed that in his interview with you on yesterday, but Presbyterian doing a good job of putting some pressure on the low post player by Campbell and taking some ticks off that clock.
Remember, PC started league play 0-5. They have played much better here as of late, led by their defense. And now a foul on Presbyterian. That is on Shivani Stafford fighting for the rebound. And this Presbyterian team, not only 6-5 in their last 11 games, but it's plays like this that have made things happen.
Just both players there being very aggressive, going after the ball. I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot left off the court after this game's over today.
These are two coaches with similar mindsets. It starts on the defensive end of the floor for Ronnie Fisher and Alora Sharp.
Watch Campbell using the high post player to try to get some touches.
This zone has caused teams trouble in the Big South, giving up just 55 a night in conference.
With every double, there's going to be an offside guard that's open.
This is Tooley's turn, and she nails the jumper. Campbell back in front.
Good penetration by Tooley that time getting to the basket.
How about this? Final minute of the first quarter, already 4 lead changes in this game.
Yeah.
If the season ended today, a matchup of the 1 seed and the 9 seed in the Big South. Out of bounds off Georgia Stockton as Presbyterian with its second turnover of the day.
That gives us some idea of what's ahead with the tournament this year, Evan.
Especially with 3 games left in the conference. Even though Campbell can clinch today, the separation between 1 and, let's say, 9 or 10, like this matchup, is very close.
It is. So much parity.
Freshman swinging around to Tooley, the sophomore. Her triple is off, and Brittany Staves in the air for the rebound.
Campbell going to bring it back out and reset.
Campbell electing for one final shot in this opening quarter. Now the pressure of Casey Hall. Launches a 3, and Faith Price rolls it out. Clean look late in the quarter.
Price can hit that.
Capley in transition, laying it home.
What a beautiful pass.
Alicia Capley, fantastic layup, and Campbell with 10 seconds to work with. Serrano calls her own number.
There's a switch on that screen.
Lobs it into Hampton. Easy layup, no good. And Presbyterian closes out the quarter with a 1-point lead. When we come back, quarter number 2 here inside Gore Arena. It's PC up 1 here on ESPN 3. Welcome back inside Gore Arena. It's Presbyterian up by 1 as we kickstart the second quarter. So how do both these teams look in conference play? Well, starkly different. For PC, it relies upon the three-point shooting at 31%, and Campbell's defense across the board, nearly the best in the league How is this matchup playing out with both teams' strengths tonight?
Well, it's going to be a game of heated defense. We know that. It could boil down to who knocks in those perimeter shots.
So far in the first quarter, PC 1 of 3 from downtown. That was Shivani Stafford with a triple off the bench. Now Trinity Johnson right back to work, coming off a 20-point effort at High Point this past Tuesday. She already has 6 in the first half. Good backdoor look and an easy finish. That's Jade Compton.
Beautiful backdoor cut and a nice pass by Santos there.
Presbyterian, they've made 7 baskets, 4 assists. Getting the ball movement in this first half. Campbell, meanwhile, 2 of 6 from 3. They've settled from long range much of this first half.
Presby still in that matchup zone.
How do you break a zone down offensively?
There's a touch inside. Now look at the offside guard. Serrano's.
Spate left open, top of the key short. And the rebound's knocked off of Presbyterian. Compton couldn't squeeze it.
Carter looked like she climbed a ladder to go up and get that rebound. That's a beautiful backdoor cut and pass. Nice teamwork by Presby.
That's Jade Compton, who did not score in 7 minutes the last time these teams met.
Compton is one of those 4 players that plays like a guard.
Taya Bolden checks in for Campbell. She's way off on her first shot, and taking the rebound away is Carter. Bolden's been red hot, double figures in 5 straight games.
Getting a lot of pressure down there on her today.
That's a huge matchup if Campbell wants to score here offensively without Haley Barber, their top scorer. Gone with the knee injury tonight. Here's Shivani Stafford off the bench. Setting up Carter, the freshman. Shot clock ticking. Stafford's pass deflected. And a jump ball. Possession goes to Campbell. You almost wonder there if you're Ronnie Fisher, you don't want the jump ball because it would have been a shot clock violation.
Yeah, this just great hustle by both players here again.
More of a tug of war than a jump ball that time.
Nobody wants to give it up.
Shivani Stafford, who started 10 games last year, but here's a turnover for Brittany Staves.
Good move by Presbyterian that time to extend the defense at half court, show a little bit of a half court trap.
Campbell already 7 turnovers in this first half. Not only losing their best scorer in Barber, as Brittany Staves trying to take the ball right back. They also lose their point guard in Barber. So some of those ball sharing responsibilities have to be spread around as Johnson off on the layup. Serrano keeping it in play, tiptoeing the line and working into the front court where Trinity Johnson fouls Serrano from behind.
Probably not a bad foul that time by Johnson because Serrano was headed to the basket on that one.
Reminder, fans, visit BigSouthStore.com, the official online merchandise of the Big South Conference. BigSouthSports.com, your place for the Big South. Final week and a half of conference play. Next Saturday is the final game of the season. Right now, Campbell with a win today would clinch the regular season crown. But some work to do here against Presbyterian, who's won 3 of their last 6. Bolden one-on-one on the block with Carter. The ball movement pretty on this possession as Tooley dribbles in, fades away, and that one rattles out.
Everything but in the glass. In the glass and out.
First miss for Shai Tooley tonight. She has 4 early points. And now Casey Hall, who just hit her 200th career 3-pointer, works the ball up top, the senior for Presbyterian.
Presbyterian's really going to have to work hard to get open for 3-point shots against Campbell's defense.
Carter one-on-one with Bolden. And an armbar foul on Taya Bolden. That is her second. And all of a sudden, Ronnie Fisher has to go to his bench here with 7 minutes left in this first half.
Costly foul for Campbell on that one.
What has Carter done to give Campbell trouble in the post today?
Well, she's so active. She's very athletic. She's got a quick first step. She could spin and get to the basket. She's hard to guard all by herself. Almost takes more than one to guard her.
Presbyterian living in the post, but Stafford is heating up from 3. Her first miss. An offensive rebound for Santos, who throws up a prayer, and Casey Hall can settle it in.
Presby really got to get their feet set long before they catch against this defense. to make those three-point shots count.
Casey Hall picks up her dribble. Santos for three, and the Portuguese native is off. Spate, a big rebound in the post. And a little bit of contact as well.
Yeah, a little contact that time by Stafford, looked like. Tell you, it's a fast-moving game. It's hard to catch everything.
Thule zips in, and she's up to 6 points.
Good quick step by Thule that time to take the baseline and get to the basket for Campbell.
Thule, one of 3 players for Campbell, averaging 9 points a game. She already has 6 here in the first half. Now Compton sizing up Nuremberg. Spendy, the freshman, guarding Compton, the veteran here for PC, and causing her trouble way away from the basket. Compton picks up her dribble. Shot clock down to 4. Looking for answers, and a traveling violation. How about the effort of Nuremberg defensively?
I tell you, Nuremberg was really giving her a fit that time, doing a super job on Swafford.
Reminder, fans, visit Big South social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat for more. Hashtag Big South for the latest updates in Big South news and notes around the league. Biggest note right now is Campbell playing without its top scorer in Haley Barber. They've won 3 straight. Now trying to take down the program that Ronnie Fisher built from the ground up as the former head coach at PC, facing his old squad here tonight. Spate left open in the corner.
Trouble.
And she's hit her second 3.
That could be trouble if she gets that look frequently, because she can really nail that shot.
Last year at Davidson College, Kiana Spate led her team, 71 three-pointers. She's nearing 60 threes here in 2020, and Campbell back in front. Here's Compton, and we have a foul in the post away from the basketball. Second team foul for Campbell. And that's Laura McNamara Clement committing the harm, her first. Be curious to see how the whistles unfold throughout this game tonight.
Yeah, I've always said the biggest thing in the world is adjusting to the officiating in a basketball game, for the players to adjust.
Taya Bolden for Campbell has 2 fouls. She's on the bench, their top rebounder. So now Laura McNamara Clement, number 40 in the orange, comes in. And a save of the basketball. Compton keeps it in play. Johnson works in the post, zips it into Carter. And Nuremberg steals it away.
Tough break for Johnson, making a beautiful pass that time.
That's a tough lob pass off the body of Carter. And it's Campbell basketball coming up after this media timeout. So far in this first half, Presbyterian coming out in transition. Capley with a nice finish. Equally strong there from Compton, but Campbell coming back strong. They are up by 2, under 5 minutes to go in this first half.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading protection to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Geico makes it easy to get help when I need it. With licensed agents available 24/7, it's not just easy. It's having Jerome Bettis on your flag football team easy. Go get him, Bus!
Ooh. Come on, Bus. Come on. Hey, wait. Man, I got the flag. I got your flag, man. I got your flag.
It's Geico Easy, with licensed agents available 24/7.
49-0.
Hard work, a love for the game, is mandatory down here. Sacrifice, a desire to be great, lives down here.
Perez open 3, yes!
Excellence, the will to compete, persists down here.
For the win!
This is the Big South, where winners are made.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Bon boy.
Bon boy.
She's too good. Brilliant from
Bon boy!
Discover the new language of travel. Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards, reimagined.
This Big South broadcast is brought to you in part by Pepsi, that's what I like, Marriott, the official hotel partner of the Big South Conference, and Hercules Tires, ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com.
Campbell up 2, under 5 minutes to go in this first half. You see Presbyterian coming in 6-12 in league play. What they've done well is take down Gardner-Webb, the 4th-ranked team in the league, and trying to get back to the semifinals, the spot they reached 3 years ago.
And Gardner-Webb is no joke, as we know. We saw them earlier here in Buies Creek as they played Campbell. They're a tough team. Presby beating them twice already.
The pass is stolen away by Presbyterian, but Lauren McNamara Clement gets it back. The shot clock does reset to a fresh 30 for Campbell. Nuremberg in the middle of the zone, sets up Thule. Her 3 from the wing is short, and Johnson comes away with the rebound. Not only is Trinity Johnson scoring at a 15-point clip, right now she's top 10 in the country in steals, impacting the game in many ways.
She's a big defensive catalyst for her team.
Also getting offensive rebounds is Presbyterian.
72 steals she has already on the season.
And Carter can't finish the layup. But those 72 steals, a program record for PC. That's for Trinity Johnson. Now can Campbell work the ball in the post? They've struggled to do so.
There it is. Now watch the backside guards. There's one person left to guard 2 over here.
Serrano, top of the key, is short again. Loose ball on the floor. And a traveling violation. Johnson a little bit aggressive that time, and she gives away the 5th turnover for PC.
Yeah, hard to fault a kid that just dives on the basketball going after it as aggressively as she did. It's great hustle.
How about Presbyterian? 3 turnovers in the last 5 minutes. They've only shot 1 of 7 in this quarter. Campbell's made the adjustment defensively.
Yeah, it's a game of spurts.
Now Serrano off her own leg, barely able to save it. Looks to be aggressive this time around.
There's a touch.
Nuremberg one-on-one. That's an air ball. Affected on the shot by Carter. Now Johnson slashes in. No good. Rebound tipped out to Spate. And a foul. That's on, it's on Campbell. Kiana Spate with the harm. And Jade Compton, the beneficiary of the whistle. Ronnie Fisher can't believe it.
We'll get another look at that one. Here we see Spate going after. Well, there's some contact there. Almost looked like both players making contact at the same time, didn't it?
You're saying almost neutralized the call there as both players being aggressive. Nice job by Johnson to catch that on the back end of the court to avoid the over and back. Now can PC break this 6-minute scoring drought? Capley zips it to Johnson. That's how you stop it.
Okay, Presbyterian is playing sneaky, getting those backdoor cuts.
Johnson up to 6 points, trying to score in double figures for the 25th game this year.
Zone's very aggressive.
Keep in mind this Campbell team has not had a single player lead them twice in a row in scoring. It's only happened once, and that was this past week as we have a foul on the floor. Presbyterian reaching in. Lamisha Madden commits her first. Kiana Spate was the player to do that. Back-to-back games leading the team in scoring. As a club, how challenging is that defensively when each team can step up and a new player every night?
Must be really difficult. I've said all along, the biggest strength of all for Campbell, I believe, has been their depth throughout the season. Any player can get hot on any given night. It's never one and the same. It's rarely one and the same. It's a combination of many.
Right now for Campbell, Shai Thule has 6 to lead the charge. Such an active defense for Presbyterian. Bodies everywhere. Now Faith Price, the freshman, cuts in. Price misses short, and McNamara Clement, the second chance.
Second chance points are huge in a close game like this.
Oh, and Price turned it over, an extra step. Campbell now 8 turnovers in this first half. A little uncharacteristic for Ronnie Fisher Club.
Well, again, 2 of the better defensive teams in the league. I think we're going to see some of that.
So what has Presbyterian done then to force Campbell to be uncomfortable, if you will?
Well, I think they're just, their zone is tough. It's they match up well. They double in the post. They make it hard for the interior players to create and score.
As Stafford misses the 3. Campbell living on the 3-point line. 3 of 10 from long range tonight. They've only attempted 8 layups. Serrano against Santos. Works it into Lauren. And the junior is fouled going up. I believe that's on Capley. So Lauren McNamara Clement will go to the line.
Here we'll see again, when she gets that ball, look at the triple down. Now you've got an offside guard that's usually open. That time, McNamara Clement was able to go up strong with it.
With the foul trouble of Taya Bolden tonight, 2 early fouls. We've seen the junior out of Raleigh check in and give valuable minutes for Campbell today as she misses the first free throw. Especially in a game where Haley Barber, the senior captain, is out with an injury. How vital are players like McNamara Clement coming off the bench?
Every player is so vital on a team like the team that Campbell has, is because it's been a combination of all their players that's led to their success. But
final 2 minutes of this first half, Wanda Watkins, and this is a defensive grinder. 1 point difference. Shivani Stafford tries to change that, and it's an offensive foul. Stafford commits her second, and Campbell 1 foul away from the bonus.
Stafford, very aggressive player for Presbyterian, just to be a sophomore.
Stafford heads to the bench for those 2 fouls, and Bria Gibbs, the sophomore to Greensboro, checks in.
We'll see if that hurts Presby, because Stafford's definitely been productive for her team.
Stafford and Johnson both in foul trouble for Presbyterian. That's nearly 25 points a night. Here's Tooley from the corner, and she is off. Hard-earned rebound for Compton.
Compton, the forward, getting the rebound, dribbling the length of the floor.
An athletic forward starting here tonight for PC, and she's guarded by the point guard of Serrano. Little mismatch in size here. Compton pressured by Serrano. Almost a 5-second call, and instead she gets it out to Gibbs, who slashes in, and an offensive foul. Gibbs into the face of Nuremberg. Svenja takes the charge.
Here we see the freshman get in position and draw the charge that time.
What do you like about the physicality of this first half, Coach?
Whew, I tell you, you can tell there's a lot to be gained by this game.
Remember, Casey Hall, who's guarding Serrano, was recruited by Ronnie Fisher. Now on senior day for Campbell, it comes full circle, and Nuremberg couldn't hold on to the pass.
Hard one to get that time. But
Keep in mind, Campbell with 10 turnovers now in this first half. They only average 13 a game.
Presbyterian puts a lot of pressure on the ball to be in a zone, but it's an active zone.
Under a minute to go in this half as Capley drives baseline, zips it in the middle, and the finish is off. Second chance for Compton. Presbyterian basketball.
Second chance points. Huge close game like this. Both teams doing a good job trying to get those second chance points.
The rebounding battle is dead even, 15 a pop, as our officials come together to confer this call. Right now it's Presbyterian basketball. Also checking to see if the shot clock needs to be reset. Did Nuremberg touch that last, or was that off PC?
Guess we'll have to give the official the benefit of the doubt that time.
What a finish. Presbyterian back up 1 as Gibbs off the bench contributes.
Well, I'm impressed with Compton's athleticism.
This half has had 8 different lead changes in a game struggling to get into the 20s. Serrano zigs, zags, and scores.
There's a penetration.
Moana Serrano up to 5 points, and Campbell's back in front. final possession for Casey Hall and the Blue Hose here in this first half. Hall to the baseline. Her pass goes A-wire. And there will be less than a second left here in this first half. I think Ronnie Fisher wanted to check the clock. Instead, he'll bring in Bolden for this last look. Reminder, fans, the Big South Women's Basketball Championship starts on March 13th. Campbell, with a win, could possibly host the tournament, so keep an eye out for that. Shaitui to throw it in with one last chance. 0.6 of a second. That will count, but way off. And Campbell goes to the break, up by 1. It's Campbell's offense getting things rolling here in this first half. KC hanging around defensively.
What a battle we've got. A good one down the stretch. Seeing a good variety out of all these players.
When we come back, the Geico halftime report here from Bowie's Creek. The Big South leaders in Campbell leading Presbyterian by 1 here at the halftime break. Low scoring affair so far in Bowie's Creek. If you're Presbyterian, a big stretch of games coming up to close out the regular season. They'll take on Winthrop in the midweek, and they need a couple of wins here, Wanda, to avoid going to that first round matchup on March the 12th.
Well, like we said, they have a lot to play for today. As Campbell, you know, that can mean a lot bypassing that first round going into the tournament.
Just 2 games left for Presbyterian, including today. As for Campbell, they have 2 games left, taking on Hampton, who right now is the second-place team in the league, which makes this matchup very important to try to secure that top overall seed.
Well, it really does. You know, you don't want to put off to tomorrow what you can do today, and I'm sure that Campbell's on a mission as they come back out in the second half to prove themselves.
Final 3 games for Campbell. It's senior day inside Gore Arena, and right now it's Campbell up 1. You take a look, if the season ended today, Wanda, this is what the Big South tournament would look like. Campbell would take on the winner in the 8-9 matchup, but certainly, especially at this point in the year, how vital is it for those top teams in Radford, Hampton, and Campbell to secure those overall top 3 seeds?
Well, it is. And, you know, I think any way you turn it, we're going to be headed for an exciting tournament with the parity that we face in the league and the closeness of the games that we've seen this season.
Key is to avoid that first round matchup where the bottom 5-6 teams will present themselves. Although in last year's final, Campbell was the 6th seed and made it all the way to play the top seed in Radford, so you never know, but something to keep an eye on. When we come back, we'll continue our halftime coverage. Right now, though, it's Campbell up 1 here at the break on ESPN3. Campbell back up 1 here at the halftime break. Some key numbers from this opening half. Obviously low scoring, and a big part of that was the defenses forcing turnovers. And you look at it right now, Campbell has forced 9 mistakes, Presbyterian with 8. The shooting percentage is a bit down. A lot of that due to the high quality of defense on both ends.
Yeah, nothing really jumps at you there. It's fairly close between both teams, maybe one differential in each of the categories. Not surprisingly that we have such a close game, Evan.
Campbell has 3 made three-pointers. That's the huge difference from downtown. Everything else nearly dead even here in this first half. We mentioned just 3 games left in the conference, so this weekend vital down the stretch. We look at some of the scores around the league, and there's some tight games. Longwood and High Point battling at a 5-point difference, and then the big game tonight. Radford, the number 2 overall seed, taking on Winthrop, who right now is 5th in the league. That's going to make for a fascinating game tonight.
It really will, and that game is in Rock Hill. And we know that Winthrop really is tough to play in Rock Hill this year. They've really improved their program. Should be a good matchup.
Don't sleep on Hampton either. They want to move to 13-5 with a win. An impressive start early on in that first half. So when we come back, we'll continue our live coverage here in Buies Creek. Right now, though, it's Campbell up 1 here at the halftime break on ESPN3. Welcome back inside Gore Arena. It's Campbell up 1 here at the halftime break. The Fighting Camels are 17-1 with leading at halftime. So an interesting nugget leading us into the second half. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth alongside the Hall of Fame coach and the former Campbell coach, Wanda Watkins. I'm Evan Budrovich. So we know the deal. Campbell with a win today will clinch the regular season title. This game has had 8 lead changes in the first half. So, Coach, what's the keys to half number 2?
Well, I think it's going to be important for Presbyterian to work a little harder off the ball to try to create more three-point shots. They've gotten a number of backdoor shots. And I think it's going to be also important for Campbell to knock in those offside three-point shots they're getting when they're making the interior touch passes, and they're getting doubled down on those.
Especially when you consider in this game, Presbyterian playing so tight defensively, forcing those 9 Campbell turnovers. What have you liked about the physicality of this game as we touch on PC's key plays from the first half?
Well, you know, we talked about early on there wasn't going to be a whole lot left off the floor, and we're seeing that in this basketball game. Both teams playing very aggressively.
Tiana Carter physical. Trinity Johnson had 6 points in the first half. And really Presbyterian took it inside in that first quarter.
They really did, and they got a number of backdoor cuts and layups against the defense as well.
Here's Trinity Johnson again with a step-through move, and you talk about the lead changes. It was the fast break of Capley as well, getting things rolling.
Beautiful body control that time by Capley.
Trinity Johnson coming in with a layup as well. And really down the stretch, it was offensive boards and second chances that fueled their success.
There's a big bucket by Spade, doing what she does well for Campbell, and Saranya taking things under her control as well.
Campbell in that first half, 3 made three-pointers. And then down low in the post, Brittany Staves got involved. Campbell with 5 different scorers in that first half.
A good variety of scores for Campbell, a good variety of scores for Presbyterian. A great half.
Then Luana Serrano got involved late in the half to take the lead, and that was the difference on the scoreboard. A reminder, fans, Marriott Bonvoy, the official hotel partner of the Big South Conference. For the best rates, book with Marriott today by visiting BigSouthSports.com/Marriott. And while we got you thinking about it, Geico, you can save even more with a 15% savings on your insurance. Visit Geico.com to see what you can save, a proud sponsor of the Big South. When we come back, half number 2, Campbell and PC in a one-point battle here through 20 minutes on ESPN3.
Music make you lose control. Rock a showstopper, beats get it crunk and wired. Wave your hands, scream loud. Everybody here get it out of control.
We do this every day for men suffering from prostate cancer. The Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute treats several types of cancers: breast, lung, prostate, head and neck, ocular, GI, brain and spine, pediatric. There are no hospital stays with proton beam radiation. The beam travels right to the affected area and stops, which leads to fewer side effects. Call us now. It could make all the difference.
Live your life. Let the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute fight your cancer.
Geico makes it easy to get help when I need it. With licensed agents available 24/7, it's not just easy. It's having Jerome Bettis on your flag football team easy. Go get him, Bus!
Ooh. Come on, Bus. Come on. Hey, wait. I'm gonna get the flag. I got your flag, man. I got your flag.
It's Geico Easy, with licensed agents available 24/7.
49-0.
Welcome back inside Gore Arena. Campbell up 1 as we kickstart the third quarter. These programs pride themselves defensively, and for Campbell, it's next level. Not only the best in the Big South, but among the best teams in the country. And right now, you look at Campbell's defensive numbers, that's the 4th best scoring defense, less than 52 points per game. What makes this team special, not only on a local level, but overall among the nation's leaders?
Well, I think it's Coach Fisher. You know, the emphasis that he places on defense year in and year out, and it's not something they've done just this year. They've done it every year that he's been here.
Ronnie Fisher is a coach between his days at Presbyterian and Campbell. 6 straight seasons in the top 25 in scoring defense, and that's translated to 2 different programs. And we've seen today 2 good defenses getting after it in this first half.
And I'm sure the second half will be no exception.
Remember, Campbell's without its top scorer in Haley Barber, out with a knee injury tonight. A tag team unit with 6 different players scoring in this first half. Here's the talented freshman Carter in the post. Santos, a corner triple is off. And a high arcing rebound for Compton. Compton right back to it. And she commits the harm with Nuremberg.
Compton being the leading rebounder, but she has got a knack for going to the offensive glass and having those rebounds. Reminds me a lot of Bolden. Watch her here with the up and under move, drawing the contact and going up strong.
Jade Compton was the one player Ronnie Fisher told us keep an eye on if you're Campbell in this matchup. And here she is now being impactful, 4 points and 5 rebounds.
Been very active in the game.
Nearly 9 points a night for Compton, who misses both free throws. An issue for these teams coming in. Campbell 10th in the league in free throw shooting. Presbyterian is 8th. Especially when you consider how tight this game's been with 9 lead changes.
Free throws can make a big difference in a game like this.
Bolden bobbles the bounce pass, and Casey Hall comes up with it. Presbyterian a chance to take the lead. Santos throws it in. Carter, step-through move is way short. Wow, some of the close looks. PC just hasn't finished. Compton again. This time she gets it to go.
Well, she found a way to get by and around Nuremberg that time. Impressive move to the basket.
Tiana Carter, 6 points. The freshman coming off a 28-point outing. Her first career double-double with 15 rebounds. Now Campbell looking for answers. Bolden in the post is stripped and a foul. That's Jade Compton putting her hand in the cookie jar. So this is a key point of the ball game right here.
Here we get another look at that. Must have been a little bit of meat with the ball that time.
I like to say a little extra sugar on top of the cookie. Different ways to break it down, but you get the point. So Taya Bolden at the free throw line has had an up and down season. Right now shooting at 75% in the league. She makes the first.
Bolden's really worked on her free throw, and it's been somewhat of a difference maker for them down the stretch.
Bolden averaging nearly a double-double. Impressive numbers for the redshirt junior. And gets the second to bounce home. So Campbell back in front. That's our 10th lead change of this game.
This game is everything we thought it was going to be.
This is a matchup, if the season ended today, of the 9 seed in the Big South and the number 1 seed, just to show you how even this conference is. There's an offensive foul drawn by Brittany Staves. And Campbell showing its effort on the defensive end.
Gutsy play here by Bolden, who's got those 2 fouls, drawing the charge.
Campbell leads the Big South in charges drawn, an analytic that Ronnie Fisher takes great pride in. How, as a coach, do you try to keep your team motivated with plays like that?
That's one of those things that you chart in a basketball game that a lot of people watching a game might miss. But those are one of those invaluable traits that you need in a game like this.
Bolden travels in the post, trying to work into the trees. I think her face tells the story on that one.
Trying to go up and under there.
Tay almost had that look of disbelief after that traveling call. I sort of agree with her just on first glance. Here's Trinity Johnson playing with 2 fouls. Limited in minutes in the first half with just 10. Capley with the easy finish, no good. And Serrano comes away with it. Luana Serrano putting on the gas all the way to the window. No. And that is last touch by Taya Bolden. Every offensive rebound in this game, Coach, has been tough to come by.
Yeah, Bolden and Compton, 2 of the best offensive rebounders in the league, both battling for that one.
Right now, they're each top 5. Bolden is 2nd in rebounding, and Compton, she's 6th in the league overall, so really stepping it up on the boards. Trinity Johnson, our spotlighted player coming in, has 6 points, trying for 8, gets a rebound, and is fouled. So Johnson to the free throw line, where she has more free throw attempts than any player in the Big South, 155 of them. How does she get to the line so well?
Her athleticism and her speed and quickness, the way she can get to the basket, her first step is so quick. She is quite a player for Presbyterian.
We mentioned the number of free throws for Johnson. She's also a 75% shooter as she makes 1 of 2. And all of a sudden, a tie ball game.
Well, here we go again, Evan.
If you were Ronnie Fisher, Wanda, is this what you envisioned? A defensive-minded 22-a-game pop with your former program and your current team battling for a conference title?
Hey, it doesn't get any better.
Campbell trying to jump ahead one more time in this third quarter. So far in the second half, they've attempted one shot. Serrano wants a triple. That is home.
I tell you, that young lady is proving more and more valuable to Campbell, game in and game out.
8 points for Serrano tonight. Spate with a steal and a chance for a fast break. Spate sets up Thule. Shy from the wing. Rattles out. That's a clean look for the sophomore.
Good look for her.
Trinity Johnson wants to be aggressive and draws the foul. Serrano can't believe it. And Trinity Johnson getting to the free throw line once again, her second in this last minute. Why is Serrano so frustrated here?
I think Serrano felt like she had position that time and probably a little frustrated by that. Johnson
Second foul on Serrano.
Johnson finding herself living on the free throw line again.
So if you're tuning in, why is this game so low scoring? Well, one, you have a Campbell defense that's 4th in the country in scoring defense. Presbyterian is in the top 50, one of 5 teams in the Big South. Part of that is offensive, but part of it also how well this league can play on defense.
Yeah, I mean, Presbyterian, just like Campbell, holding their opponents into the 50s, a little giving up a few more points than Campbell, but still, nonetheless, a very good defensive ball club.
Nuremberg from the free throw line is pressured by Johnson. Has to find an escape route. She gets it out to Spate. Now a switch. Nuremberg into the corner. Thule's triple is up and bounces out. Rebound. Back to Santos. Here's Shivani Stafford off the bench as PC goes deep into its bench tonight. Stafford left open.
Could be trouble.
Big shooter nails the triple, and Stafford up to 6 points.
She's really, as Coach was saying to you in her interview earlier in the week, she is really coming on strong for her team.
Stafford sees it high as 12, and she's inching closer with 6 tonight. Hampton now in the post is doubled immediately. Campbell really no answers for that trap, and it's last touch by Hampton. If you're Campbell here, how do you avoid that pressure on the ball? As Ronnie Fisher calls a timeout, we will take the timeout as well. Presbyterian up 2 with Campbell looking for answers when we come back here on ESPN3.
Geico makes it easy to get help when I need it. With licensed agents available 24/7, it's not just easy. It's having Jerome Bettis on your flag football team easy. Go get him, Bus!
Ooh. Come on, Bus. Come on. Hey, wait. I'm glad I got the flag. I got your flag, man. I got your flag.
It's Geico Easy, with licensed agents available 24/7.
49-0!
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading protection to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Music make you lose control. Rock a showstopper, beats get it crunk and wired. Wave your hands, scream loud. Everybody here get it out of control.
We do this every day for men suffering from prostate cancer. The Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute treats several types of cancers: breast, lung, prostate, head and neck, ocular, GI, brain and spine, pediatric. There are no hospital stays with proton beam radiation. The beam travels right to the affected area and stops, which leads to fewer side effects. Call us now. It could make all the difference.
Live your life. Let the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute fight your cancer.
This Big South broadcast is brought to you in part by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit Geico.com today. And Sunbelt Rentals. We have equipment for that.
Welcome back inside Gore Arena. Presbyterian up 2 midway through this third quarter. A reminder, Hercules Tires, a proud sponsor of the Big South Conference and the title sponsor of the Big South Tournament. Hercules Tires ride on our strength. Right now, these teams have been riding on the strength of their defense. 52 combined points, another low-scoring affair here in Bowie's Creek. And for Presbyterian in half number 2, they've forced 3 Campbell turnovers and have now jumped in front thanks to some clutch play in this third.
And they've done a good job. They're really putting a lot of pressure on Campbell's post. And not just their post. I should just say that. They're doubling up on their post, but they're putting pressure everywhere, but particularly in their post.
Capley comes in off the bench, number 35 in the blue for PC. Lays it off to Johnson. Right through the Campbell defense, and a reach-in foul. That's going up, so 2 free throws as well. And Brittany Staves commits the harm.
Johnson makes it look easy, doesn't she? I mean, here you see her split the defense and get to the basket.
So Trinity Johnson coming in, averaging 4 assists a game. But tonight, aggressive offensively. 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Now in double figures with a free throw.
Well, 6, I think, since halftime. I think we've seen her make 3 or 4 trips.
Johnson rattles in the second, and now Presbyterian, its largest lead of this game. 4-point difference. Campbell without its top scorer, and Haley Barber out tonight with an injury. Looking to step up with the depth of its core. Staves in the post, shot fake, rejected in the jump ball, keeps it on this end. Nice job by Capley to affect the shot.
That was a beautiful pass. Staves using her body well.
But Capley says, I'm just going to take it.
Yeah,
really ripped it out of her hands.
A lot of arms there.
Hampton gives it away. That's the 13th turnover for Campbell. They only average 15 a game. What has been the bugaboo for them offensively?
Well, I just think Presbyterian's putting a lot of pressure on the ball. They're doubling and tripling up inside, and it's just a very aggressive game.
A game that's featured 12 lead changes. Both teams have led for an equal 9 minutes. Should make for a fascinating third quarter as Johnson off the window, and Staves comes away with the rebound. Here's Nani Carver, the backup point guard. She'll give Saranu a breather midway through the third. Now Bolden on the deflected catch is doubled, and a reach-in foul on Capley.
Capley, I believe, got her before she went up with that. It's on the
and
floor.
We'll take the media timeout. Final 5 minutes of this third quarter as Bolden draws the foul right here, trying to bring Campbell back down 4 on ESPN3. If the season ended today, Campbell would be the top overall seed in the conference, but they have some work to do here at home, down by 4. When these teams meet, it's always defensive-minded. Campbell leads the all-time series 9-8. They've won 5 of the last 6, but here tonight, Presbyterian has put the clamp on defensively and now has a 4-point lead.
Both teams playing very aggressively. Right now, Presbyterian's defense forcing a few more turnovers.
Tui to trigger it in. And barely gets that ball off to Spate. Plenty of time here for a Campbell offense, shooting 36% tonight. That's 20 points below their average. Staves on the isolation, kicks it out to Carver. Shot clock down to 3. There's a step back, deflected. And Presbyterian another stop out of the timeout. PC even keeled, led by Johnson's 11. Here's Compton. Tight pressure defensively.
Got to get out of there, yep. Almost 3 seconds that time.
And that's an offensive foul. Committed there by Shivani Stafford, burrowing in. That's the 3rd charge for Stafford tonight.
Yeah, she's very aggressive, but here we'll see Staves hold her ground and take that contact.
It's like a bull in a china shop getting after it here in this 3rd quarter. Staves gonna throw the ball in, and away we go. Serrano back in for Campbell. She leads the Fighting Camels with 8 points tonight. This is now a 3-minute scoring drought for a Campbell offense that averages 60 a night. Shot clock down to 10. Spate, catch and shoot 3 is in.
Well, Spate doing what she does so well for this Campbell team. That's a big pickup for Campbell right there in the corner.
Spate scored 24 points when these teams last met. A vital part of the Campbell's comeback victory down in Clinton, South Carolina. In the hands now of Compton. Jade, one of the 8 underclassmen, a very talented young group for PC. Capley on the shot fake, spins inside, zips it out to Compton, down to 3. Compton banks it in.
Oh, good hesitation out on the perimeter to go in and make that drive by Compton.
Presbyterian has led for much of this 3rd quarter in a game with 12 lead changes. Now Campbell can tie it with a 3. Spate again, the opposite corner, and Campbell is tied.
Oh! She is so valuable. First on the right, then on the left.
And a timeout called by Presbyterian. Kiana Spate on senior day, 12 points, stepping up for her squad. And a reminder while we have a moment, visit BigSouthSports.com, the official online merchandise home of the conference. Check out all the gear amongst the different teams in the league at BigSouthStore.com. Campbell and Presbyterian tied at 31 here with the Hall of Fame coach Wanda Watkins, Evan Budrovich, and if Irani Fisher drawing up plays in a moment like this where your team can win a regular season title at home, is there added pressure or stress in a moment like this?
Well, I just think, you know, you're playing for the moment. You put everything else
But you say that. There is the thought, of course, it's one game at a time, but there is a larger picture as well, trying to move to 16-2.
Yeah, but, you know, you've got to do that by playing for the moment. You got to live in every single moment and try to make your opportunities as you go.
That's the sentiments that Ronnie Fisher echoed to us yesterday leading up to this matchup.
Spate doing a good job of that for her team. 2 big turnaround 3-point shots.
Spate, the Davidson transfer with her family in attendance today on senior day, has led the squad with 12 points. Now Casey Hall, one-on-one with Thule, almost lost it. Santos under 10 on the clock, looking for help. Back to Santos. Here's a long 3. That bounces out, and Serrano, the beneficiary.
Campbell doing a good job blocking out that time for the board.
A 6-2 run, and Santos the last to touch it. We mentioned in that 3rd quarter, Campbell struggling to shoot. Now they're up to 42%. What has changed for Campbell offensively?
Well, you know, the game can change in the blink of an eye, especially when you get a hot-handed shooter like Spate or Serrano, who could nail those shots out on the perimeter.
McNamara Clement seals off, but loses the ball on the floor and throws it out to Casey Hall. Casey Hall in transition. Gets by Spade. Misses the shot. And Lauren comes back on the other end for the rebound. Now Tooley into the body of Compton, and Campbell in front.
And just like that, Campbell goes back out on top.
Campbell coming alive with Spade's three-point shooting, and an 8-2 run flips the score here in the third. Now can Campbell's fourth-ranked scoring defense shut down Johnson. Trinity buries in for an offensive foul. Third of the night for Trinity Johnson.
We'll get a look at this, but she makes a good move going to the basket, but Spade gets set up early there, making the difference for her team.
Campbell up 2 here in this third quarter. How about the effort of Spade defensively?
Putting her body on the line.
And that's a senior who has tried to inherit the leadership role that Haley Barber is without tonight. She is out with an injury.
Well, you know, with Barber out, Spade gets the toughest defensive assignment. She gets Johnson all night. So
here's Spade from the corner. How about almost a third triple in the frame? And Stafford comes out with the rebound.
So not only does she pull her weight offensively, but she's got a big assignment on defense.
I think she deserves a big piece of the senior day pie after this one. Now can Presbyterian respond? They give it up an 8-2 run. Back up top to Stafford. Final minute of this third quarter. Campbell back in front by 2. Capley trying to change that. Right through Tooley. And it's tied at 33.
Presby's gotten some valuable minutes out of Capley today.
Alessia Capley did not score on Tuesday night. Here she is off the bench. A valuable 4 points. Serrano to the free throw line. Pops a jumper, and Campbell back in front. Double figures for Serrano. She's got 10.
4 of 6 from the floor. Her buckets have been big.
13 lead changes tonight. Forget the seeding implications. 9 versus 1. These are two teams battled it out in Gore Arena. Capley again. Back to the left. A block by McNamara Clement, but she gets it back. Shot clock did not reset. Santos looking up with 4. Santos all the way to the lane. No good. Last touch by Presbyterian. There was a lot of contact there, and it's Campbell ball.
Good defensive stand by Campbell that time. Laura McNamara Clement showing her versatility inside and her value as a defensive player.
This final minute of the third quarter has been scrappy and physical. Last chance for Campbell in the third. Serrano, long 2 is up, long 2 is in. And that ends the third. Campbell's made its last 5 shots in this corner, led by Kiana Spate leading the charge.
Starting to feel the momentum change.
It started from one corner, she flipped it to the right. Spate with 12 points, and Campbell cooking a 4-point lead through 3 quarters of play. These teams last met on January 18th. It was a back-and-forth game where Trinity Johnson got things rolling, and then Kiana Spate with 24 points to help fuel a dynamic victory for Campbell.
Yeah, Spate just shows her value and has really been a difference maker for Campbell in this second half. I think they might have made a few minor adjustments, but really when you look at it, I think they just relaxed and they're knocking in those shots that they missed early on.
Keep in mind, Campbell on the road this year, 8-1 in conference play. Also, 7 home wins as Spate nearly knocked it out. There it is, Campbell basketball, in fact.
Good scrap by Spate on that, trying to get that steal and then the ball going off of Presbyterian.
So how about Spate? 12 points, a couple of rebounds, and now a steal, making a huge impact.
And she's taken some charges and put her body on the line a few times as well, Evan.
Checking what, 7 boxes in a different variety of ways for Campbell. A team without its top scorer in Haley Barber out with an injury tonight. Ooh, that's a risky pass. Last touch by Presbyterian and Tiana Carter. Carter, the freshman, a 28-point, 15-rebound performance against High Point. Tonight, 6 points and 3 boards. She's been hampered with foul trouble.
Makes it tough when you're going in and out of a basketball game to get your rhythm.
Then again, the scoring's so low in this one, it's been tough for anyone to get going outside of Spate. And a foul on Tess Santos. A neat story with those two, both from Portugal. They played club ball together. And Santos fouls her friend in Serrano, who they spent 10 minutes before the game just catching up as old buddies.
It's a great game. Brings you to meet a lot of great people.
Serrano, the sophomore point guard out of Lisbon, Portugal. Now Bolden asking for it in the post. Hesitates, misses the shot, and a nice defensive board by Compton. 8 rebounds now for Compton in the starting lineup. Santos left open, trying to dribble drive in, and Bolden shields her off.
Check out Johnson. Look who she's being guarded by. Again, a tough defensive assignment for Spate.
11 points against Campbell's best defender. Johnson with 10. Spate taking the assignment, doing it well, and a miss for Trinity Johnson.
Great defensive stand that time for Campbell.
Now can Campbell take advantage offensively, where they've shot just 42%. Spate lobs it to Nuremberg. The freshman can't finish the triple. That's a clean look from the wing.
Good look by Nuremberg. Good shot to take.
Campbell up 4. In fact, the largest lead for either team, which is almost shrunk into 1. Oh, Spate got knocked hard. And the foul is, I want to check to see who it's on there.
I believe it's going to be on Santos. I think
it is
she was
on Santos.
Reaching to knock that ball away and hit Spate.
Because that was almost bang-bang with the collision there with Spate, the senior, knocking in with Santos, the junior out of Lisbon, Portugal. Worth noting, Wanda, second team foul for Presbyterian here a minute and a half into this quarter.
Yeah.
Especially with how vital free throws can be.
They really can, and neither team a great free throw shooter, but we'll see how that pans out today.
Serrano's been red hot, double figures in this one. Nuremberg on the shot fake, cuts in, and that pass is bopped around.
Oh, it's rough.
Still on the floor.
It's rough out there.
Presbyterian comes up with it. Let's see if Johnson can run in space.
They had numbers, but they backed and slowed it down.
PC on the road this year, 3-6 in conference. Maybe their most competitive game of the year. As the freshman Carter is tripped up, but traveled before the shot. And the struggles for Tiana Carter continue tonight.
Yeah, Campbell's defense closing in there, making it difficult for her to get to the basket. She tried to step through, but didn't quite make it.
Remember, Presbyterian led 29-25 midway through this third quarter. The adjustment for Campbell has been putting the ball in the hands of Kiana Spate. Now Nuremberg slashes in. Her lefty layup rolls home.
Great slash to the basket, showing her versatility as well.
How about the freshman out of Luxembourg? In games she started this year, Campbell is 10-1. What's been the change for this team with Nuremberg in the lineup?
I saw that young lady turn around way back around the Longwood game. She had a really good game at Longwood, and it's been really going well for her since.
Now a fixture in the starting lineup tonight. She's got 2 points. Here's Stafford off the bench for PC. A step back 3 is in.
Well, she's a competitor. That she is.
Shivani Stafford, 9 points. You see the energy off the bench for Stafford, and PC is back within 3. Have I mentioned the largest lead tonight is 6, and we've had 13 lead changes. Such a competitive game.
What a great game.
Here's Spate in the corner on senior day. Can't finish the triple. Rebound McNamara Clement, and she backs it out. Every basket tough to come by. 2 of the top scoring defenses in the Big South. McNamara Clement bounces to Serrano.
Shot clock going down.
Down to 4. Serrano right to the lane.
Great drive. That young lady's putting this team on her shoulders.
Campbell up 5. In a game, if they win tonight, they clinch the regular season title. Presbyterian with a loss would fall into the first round play-in game. So much on the line here in conference as Spate tips the pass and Campbell forces its 15th turnover.
Big get by Campbell. Coach Fisher's asking his team to slow it down now and just use a little clock.
Ronnie Fisher, who spent his first 8 seasons at Presbyterian, massively improved that program from Division II up the Division I ranks. Now watching his former squad battle his current team. Thule from the men's line. Why not? Bit off. And a second chance for Campbell.
McNamara Clement getting those second chance points for Campbell.
Thule again, a little bit strong. Nuremberg touches it last, and it's Presbyterian basketball. Boy, Shai Thule not afraid to jack it up. She's got 8 points on 11 shots.
Yeah, she can shoot it. She won't miss many of those.
Shai Thule averaging 9 a game in conference, one of 4 different starters for Campbell with 9 a night. Today it's Serrano's 14 leading the charge. Now Casey Hall back in, the senior point guard for Presbyterian. She was a recruit of Ronnie Fisher. Talk about the dynamic of these two. Trinity Johnson sizing up Spade, backing her down and laying it home.
That's a competitor right there. I tell you, this ball game's a long ways from being over with 5 minutes to play.
Campbell has not led by more than 6. And here comes PC hanging around on the road. Serrano from the wing, zips it out to Thule. Shai is doubled. Sees Staves,
There's
kicks it to Spate. Corner 3 is off. Offensive rebound, Thule. And on the floor goes Johnson. Trinity comes up with it, and Spate takes it away. Now Spate gives it to the middle of the floor. Whoa, we got a foul. A reach in on Presbyterian. It's Carter with the foul. Wow, what a crazy play. And we have a media timeout. So much to digest. What we know for sure, it's Campbell up 3 with 4.5 minutes to go on ESPN 3. Check out our precision forward play of the game. Kiana Spate with 12 points tonight. None bigger than this three to tie it late in the third.
Woo! Downtown. Back-to-back threes. Big turnaround in the game.
Kiana Spate approaching 58 three-pointers on the season. And of course on senior day, stepping up for her squad without Haley Barber, the senior captain, out with an injury tonight. And it's Spate's 12 points to fuel this second half comeback. We also saw a moment ago both teams dive on the floor, basically in a WWE scrap-down battle. It was ruled a foul on Tiana Carter, who was beside herself, and the play really had a lot of nuances to it. So in the end of things, it's Campbell ball with a fresh shot clock. Keep in mind, Campbell with a win tonight would clinch the regular season title. They've eclipsed their most wins ever in conference play in the Big South. That previous record was just 13. Lauren wants it in the post. Here's the double. Staves left open.
There's the extra pass.
Faith Price, the freshman, cuts in. And last touch by Presbyterian off the body of Compton.
Campbell need to move quickly here with 7 seconds.
In this fourth quarter, Campbell 0 of 5 from downtown. They've been living in the post.
Watch the pass over the top, maybe.
Saranya with 6 has to operate. Blue right into the key. And it falls out of bounds. It's Presbyterian basketball.
Tough break for Campbell.
16 turnovers for each team tonight. So we mentioned coming in, the two top scoring defenses in the Big South. We've seen a little more offense in this second half, but how about the physicality of this game down the stretch?
I tell you, I was just thinking, you know, all these players are going to need to get in a cool whirlpool after the game. Their bodies have got to be tired and sore, all this contact.
One final week to play in the conference action. We have a matchup of the 9 seed and the 1 seed if the year were to end today. Presbyterian hanging tough in their final road game of the conference. Trinity Johnson slashes in. Johnson collects some contact, and it's last touch by Nuremberg. It'll stay Presbyterian ball with 20 on the shot clock. Shaituli comes back in for Campbell, giving Faith Price a breather. PC in this fourth quarter, 40% shooting, but they've committed 4 turnovers to give the ball away. And a foul on Nuremberg with an arm bar. That's the first team foul. Keep in mind, Carter has 4 fouls for Presbyterian, so she's on the bench. Campbell has no player with more than 2. And a turnover. Out of bounds. Johnson throws it away. Campbell's sideline out of bounds defense, exquisite.
Good stand for Campbell that time.
Doesn't it feel like it's a race to 50 at this point? Especially with 2 defensive-minded coaches, where Ronnie Fisher at his previous home of Presbyterian, battling his former squad with a chance to win the title today.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to make 50, but it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good finish.
Bolden on the contested catch, who's knocked off the body of Compton that time. Taya Bolden coming in had 3 straight double-doubles. Tonight, only 2 points. What has PC done well to slow her down?
They put a lot of pressure on our post, all of our posts, particularly Bolden inside.
Bolden right back to work. Gets the layup to go.
She heard you, Evan.
4 points for Bolden, listening to us in the broadcast booth, along with the former Hall of Fame coach, Wanda Watkins. Evan Budgerovich with you. The final 3 minutes, season title. And a reach and foul on Spate, who goes above the shoulders of Johnson. Just the second team foul for Campbell in the corner. Reminder, fans, Ticketsmarter.com, an official ticket sponsor of the Big South Conference. Visit Ticketsmarter.com today. Get your tickets for that Big South tournament starting not this week, but next Tuesday with first round action. Shivani Stafford wants a triple. That's a rare miss for Stafford, and an offensive rebound by Johnson.
Big second chance point for Presbyterian, another opportunity for them.
Here's Compton, sizing up Nuremberg. Compton cuts in. Nuremberg holds her ground. Here's Johnson for 3. That is out. Rebound, Thule.
I'm sure Campbell's going to take their time here.
You sort of feel like Campbell will have to put this game away on the offensive end without its senior captain, Haley Barber, out with an injury tonight, Who's going to step up?
Big possession. They could really do a lot and solidify their lead on this possession.
Nuremberg slices in. Serrano with a shot fake is fouled on the three. And Jade Compton, a costly foul, sending Serrano to the free throw line.
Good free throw shooter for Campbell, too. If you had to pick one to be on the line, it'd probably be Serrano.
Ronnie Fisher looking for his 16th Big South win. That'd be the most ever for Fisher here at Campbell. And his team leaning on the sophomore point guard, Luana Serrano, for 3 shots. In the midst of dead silence, she hits the first.
Makes it not look easy.
Serrano is 75% free throw shooter on the young season. This game tonight gives her 9 in double figures just in conference play.
Such a valuable player for Campbell. Such a valuable playmaker. As a sophomore, you're kidding me.
And especially with Barber out tonight, the senior point guard, how has Serrano stepped up with these now 16 points?
Best thing about that young lady is the decisions that she made throughout the game. She made good decisions on when to drive, when to pass, and when to take the three.
8-point lead as all 3 free throws go in. A stop right here might just end it for Campbell's 4th-ranked defense in the country. A timeout called by Alora Sharp to talk a critical possession over if you're PC.
Tell you, coming down the wire here.
What has Campbell done in this 4th quarter, Wanda, to really put this game away and extend its lead out to 8, the largest of this game?
I think their team really became themselves when Spate knocked in those 2 threes. But again, they've made some big defensive plays, taken some big charges. Bolden, Spate, you know, Serrano with her hands and her decision-making out on the floor. They just seem like they've really relaxed since she knocked in those 2 shots and played more like they can.
3 games left in the conference. You see Campbell at 15-2. A win today, and they would clinch their first regular season title in the conference since 1991. Wanda, you were the coach of that team. How difficult is it to run the table and win a regular season title?
Well, you know, it all boils down to the tournament, but there is nothing like a regular season championship. That just shows your consistency throughout a season. It's a long, grueling season. And to do that with still 2 games left would mean a great deal to Campbell.
Radford won last year's regular season title at 17-1. A chance for Campbell to move to 16-2 as part of an impressive regular campaign. And Trinity Johnson, who's been his leading scorer for PC at 13 points, trying to bring back her Blue Hose. Johnson gets some space. The lob pass is caught by Carter, playing with 4 fouls and lays it in.
Good pass by Johnson to go inside for Carter that time.
Remember, this game's had 13 lead changes, so don't count out PC just yet, especially on the road. They're hanging tough in this 4th quarter. Bolden wants it in the post. Instead, Tooley operates around the ring.
Campbell out wide on the perimeter, creating a lot of space between their interior and their exterior.
Tooley, shot fake to create space. Now Bolden down to 5, up with a right, and Campbell's back up 8.
Big bucket by Bolden going inside that time to the big girl.
4 points in this final quarter for the redshirt junior, Taya Bolden. Johnson's been excellent in this second half. She sets up Compton. Down low to Carter, who is stripped going up, and Spate, the senior, takes it away.
Tell you, that's a big, big play for Campbell. Now they're going to milk this clock.
And Trinity Johnson commits the foul. Presbyterian is all of a sudden in the bonus. That's the 5th team foul. So now it's up to Campbell's free throw shooters, a club that's worth noting just 64% to try to put this game away.
But a sophomore playmaker going to the line is shooting about 76% from the line.
I was going to say, if Alora Sharp is going to foul any player, Serrano may be the one she does not want to harm in this situation.
Yeah. Just hitting their last 3 in a row and going back to the line again.
17 points for Serrano tonight. If she makes this next free throw, she'll tie her season and career high of 19. The sophomore has stepped up in the absence of Haley Barber, the senior point guard, out with a knee injury on the shoulders of the sophomore of Lisbon, Portugal. $19 points for Serrano, and it's a 10-point difference, largest of this game.
Big turnaround for Campbell.
Presbyterian will call a timeout to talk this over. And you're starting to feel it if you're inside Gore Arena. Campbell a chance to clinch the regular season title. And Presbyterian, who played so tough in this game, led for much of the third quarter. What's been the difference, especially offensively for PC in this final frame?
Well, you know, down the stretch, Campbell, I mean, both teams are well coached, but down the stretch, Campbell's been in so many of these close games, and they believe that they can win these games, and they're winning these games, and with that breeds more and more confidence, and it's
Campbell this year in games decided by less than 10 points. They're 6-2. Big reason why they sit with a 20-win campaign. The fourth straight year a Big South program has won at least 20. And the head coach, Ronnie Fisher, knows he's 67 seconds away from a regular season title.
Absolutely. It's got to be a good feeling.
Wanda, you won 2 titles in your career at Campbell in the regular and postseason. And Spate called for a foul, bumping into Johnson. That's on the floor, just the third team foul. But the effort of Kiana Spate, not only the 12 points, but her defensive effort on Johnson has been huge in this game.
She's had a big assignment. She really has. She's carried a big load for her team. And she's done it well on senior day.
Presbyterian shooting just 3 of 14 from downtown. Needed a couple of triples here to get back in this one. Stafford's made 2 of those herself. Wants a 3, and an air ball might just seal this one. Bolden against the double. Gets it away to Thule. Oh, and a tough foul.
Right in the head.
Stafford right in the face of Shai Thule, who's slow to get back up.
Little pop to her head. Little whiplash.
Officials conferring here if there might be a flagrant. Wanted to let us know your thoughts.
You know, it looked like they were just going after the basketball. I don't think there was anything intentional there, but she took a pretty big blow to the head. Oh.
Almost didn't see it coming either.
Yeah, yeah.
So Shai Thule fighting off some tears in what has to be a tough blow. 8 points for the sophomore, who's yet to hit a 3 tonight. That's her bread and butter at 40%. Yet here she is contributing, nearing double figures, I should say.
Of course, you're going to have a headache tomorrow.
Nothing little Advil can't fix. You see the numbers for Thule, 9 points a game. That's third on the team.
Another sophomore that's so impressive for Campbell. I tell you, the Big South has got some young players that are really going to have some great years ahead of them.
Thule was preseason all-conference coming into the year. And with this free throw, she's in double figures for the 28th time in her career. Presbyterian running out of time as Johnson works into the key. Stafford now with a step-back triple, short. And Campbell putting the finishing touches on a home victory here over Presbyterian.
Presbyterian will probably concede here. Oh, maybe not.
And a foul on Compton.
Showing great sportsmanship.
So now it's started to settle in, right? As a head coach, you know your team's in good position. How are you feeling knowing your team has accomplished something that has not been done since 1991?
Knowing Coach Fisher, you know, I don't even know if he'll really enjoy this so after it's all said and done, because he's going to be thinking about that next game.
That next game is on Wednesday against the second-place team in the league. But right now, if the results hold, and it certainly seems that way, Campbell's going to move to 16-2 and wrap up the regular season title.
Been a very impressive run for Campbell.
Saranya with the 2 free throws has now set a career high 21 points as Campbell rides a 12-2 run. Stafford again launches the 3, way off. Bolden the rebound. And Presbyterian not electing to foul here, instead trying to trap. And a jump ball. Oh, and Ronnie Fisher got the timeout with 21 seconds left. So Campbell in this closing 2 minutes, a 13-2 run. Really speaks to their championship mentality, able to put this game away. What's been impressive to you?
Just their resiliency, you know, and ability to hang on. People picking each other up, playing without Barber, and yet other players coming to the plate. But, you know, I've said all along, their strength is their depth.
So High Point with a win today. They're holding on late. They'll move to 12-6. High Point still in the hunt for those top 2 seeds, along with Gardner-Webb, who's pulling away. They're going to lock in that 4 seed this week, as Campbell will go to Gardner-Webb to close out the regular season. A couple of scores around the league. But right now the story is Campbell trying to move to 16-2 and clinch a regular season title. The timeout called by Ronnie Fisher gives Campbell 2 left. In a game with 13 lead changes, Campbell storming away in the 4th. As Tooley dribbles out of pressure. Now finds Serrano, and if Campbell can get across the line, that'll wrap this game up. Bolden wants the layup, and a timeout. Well, no, play continues. Johnson brings it in. Final seconds here in PC. Hall up for a 3. That is off. Santos at the buzzer. That wraps it up. Campbell, for the first time since 1991, Big South regular season champions. Running the table at 16-2, wrapping up an impressive regular season under the head coach Ronnie Fisher. And your 2019-2020 regular season champions taking care of business here in Bowie's Creek.
Great day for the Camels. A great day for Coach Fisher and his team. Very deserving. They have put together quite a season, and I'm sure the best may be even yet to come.
The senior Kiana Spate leads the charge with 12 points in this second half. Campbell, without its senior captain in Haley Barber, finds a way to get a home victory here tonight, and you see the girls starting to sink it all in. Big South regular season champions. What's it like as a coach in a moment like this?
Well, you know, you just see it all come together, and the hard work of the young ladies and the staff, as you see there, you know, it's just something magical about that kind of chemistry.
The first regular season title in the Big South since 1991. The Big South tournament will run through Bowie's Creek, and the Camels are fired up to celebrate with their seniors.
Yes, they are, rightfully so. Here we see the Big South making their presentation.
The Associate Commissioner, Shelly Davis, with the championship trophy. The 2 seniors, and Haley Barber and Kiana Spate, a regular season championship. And now time to hand off the trophy and celebrate if you're Campbell. Nearly 30 years in the making. Campbell earns a Big South regular season title and the top seed in the conference tournament.
I've got tears in my eyes for those Camels. Magical run.
Ronnie Fisher and the Camels picked 4th in the preseason poll. They are champions today as Campbell secures the top overall seed in the conference tournament. Final score of this one, 56-42, as Campbell wraps up a home victory, moving to 21-6 on the year for the Hall of Fame coach, Wanda Watkins. I am Evan Budrovich, wrapping up our coverage here in Bowie's Creek as Campbell gets the win on Senior Day. Thanks for joining us on ESPN 3.